Okay guys, so we just figured out that you know, we used to tell you that you can go all the way up to 14-inch and use stock cables on a 2015 to 17 Road Glide, but we actually just found out that you can go all the way up to 16. You guys take a look at this. This is a 16-inch bar with stock cable lines, and they're not tight. They got a lot of slack in them. Completely stock lines. Didn't bleed them, didn't completely take them off, just by rerouting the cables. Now, you can use the throttle by wire, but you're not going to be able to use your main wire harness kit. But you can purchase a $35 kit that's easy to wire it inside. It's just plug and play. But other than a $35 cost, you can use all your stock cables on this. Okay, so this is the only thing you're going to need to buy. This is a Gorilla Cables wire kit. It's part number 24020-1109. But you don't need to buy the throttle by wire, you just need the control harness kit. And what this basically does is it clips in on one end and then you just snap it in on the other end. So it's just easy, you don't have to cut or solder. Now we sell these kits, or you could buy them on their website or ours, but they're $35 these kits. So you don't have to buy cables, you know, and other than that you're just gonna have to spend an additional $35, but that's it. Okay, so now Jesse's gonna show you guys exactly how he got the stock cables to work on a 16-inch signature board. So what's the first step, Jesse?
So the first step is to remove them completely from the stock location. So the stock clutch normally comes right here, and the stock brake line comes right here. And so we completely remove them and run them outside of that housing. And a little thing I do is I zip tie this housing on after I take them out, just to make sure it stays against the frame. So over here, you can see where we ran the brake line, which is this one, into the plastic housing, up across on top, and it runs above. And then it's zip tied over here, so it just has enough play to run up to the brake cylinder. Now, there is enough radius to turn it. As you can see, it just falls in place of the triple tree.
You can see there's a lot of slack there too. So it's not like it's tight or it's binding, you can really tell.
And your gauge cluster will hold it down just like that. On the clutch side, it's more tricky. We can't really show you, but from where it comes out of the clutch, you have to loosen and cut all the zip ties and run it slightly under the case. So normally it runs along the frame, comes along here. Now with the new way, it runs under the motor and comes from the inside of the frame. You can kind of see right here how it's not in the stock location when you compare it to yours. And then we run it tight and zip tie it across with the other brake line. And the brake line is what holds it steady. And then up here at the triple tree, you want to make sure it runs under this wire harness. Otherwise it's going to pinch that harness and make the cable bind. So you run it under the wire harness. And so when you do turn, it just falls into place. No problems.
Okay, so we're not going to show you how to do the install because we've got other videos that show you installs, but we are going to show you some of the things we did to make these cables fit, because you do need to relocate them. So Jesse's going to show you guys pretty much what he did to get these cables to fit. But like I said, this is not an install video, it's just to show you that you can go all the way up to 16-inch using your stock cables and your stock throttle by wire.